know me as the Candyman. What they don't know, and I'm telling you this in the strictest confidence, is that I'm also Willy Wonka. A few boys and girls will find out that later, but in the meantime, I better make sure I have a full supply of candy, because when school lets out, in exactly 17 seconds, kids are going to crowd around me. They always do. They may be afraid of Willy Wonka. After all, they've never seen him. I mean, they've never seen me. What I mean is, they have no fear of the Candyman. That's me. 4, 3, 2...
It's the Candyman! Look at all that candy. What are you gonna get?
Hey, Charlie, too bad you haven't got any money, but I've got $2. Help me pick something out.
Each bar of candy costs $1. This child has $2, and Charlie has none. I just wanted to point that out to you.
You already got a lollipop. Shouldn't you finish it first?
I can't help it. I love candy, especially chocolate bars. Pistachio, joy, butter ripple, and chocolate crispy crunch with caramel.
Stop it, you're making my mouth water.
I can't stop eating sweets. All those wonderful Willy Wonka treats. You can keep the others, but me, I'm Wonka. When it comes to candy, Willy's the coolest. Who can take the sunrise? Sprinkle it with dew. Butter, baby, chocolate, and a miracle. The Candyman can. Who can take the rainbow? Wrap it in the sunlight. Soak it in the sun and make a strawberry pie. The Candyman can. The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. You can even eat the dishes. Nothing for you, Charlie?
Not today, I don't want to spoil my appetite.
Looks like your appetite could use a little spoiling. Here, take one of these on the house.
Really? Thanks!
Who can take tomorrow? Living in a dream. Break the soul, make the legs fall free. The Candyman can. The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good.
Charlie, come home. Your soup's getting cold.
Thanks for the candy.
My pleasure, Charlie. My pleasure.
What's this one? Is it the same one? No.
Scary music. That's all we hear whenever I show up. But don't let that music fool you. My name is Slugworth, and I'm really not such a bad sort. I'm a candy maker by trade. Now I know that everybody loves the Candyman, alias Willy Wonka. But why should you people love me just the same? Especially when I work so hard selling candy to the work in my factory. No, it's no use. People just don't like my candy recipes. Here's one I thought would be a big hit. A chocolate-covered hamburger with vanilla cream, and it comes with a ketchup packet on the side. What? What's wrong with that? It's the perfect blend of sugar and salt. Okay, fine, so I don't have a knack for making candy. That's why it's only fitting for me to steal from, to learn from someone who knows the whereabouts of caramel and cream. If only I could send a spy to Willy Wonka's factory to learn all of his precious secrets. Here comes a young fellow now. He looks like a trustworthy sort. Good evening, young man. I couldn't help but notice that delicious-looking lollipop you're holding. You must have friends in high places. Perhaps you got that precious confectionery from Willy Wonka himself?
No, sir. The candy man gave it to me.
I see.
He felt sorry for me because I didn't have enough money for candy. You see, me and my grandmother are very poor. In fact, she was just calling for me. She wants me to come home.
Good boy. Always listen to your elders. I admire that, son. Now listen carefully to me before you go, because I get the sense that you're a trustworthy sort. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And what's more, I get the feeling that you enjoy the finer things in life, like delicious candy, for instance.
Oh, yes, sir.
Then it absolutely follows from the simplest rules of truth and logic that you love nothing more than to sample the finest candy in the world. An everlasting gobstopper.
An everlasting gobstopper?
Shh, not so loud. So the crowd might gather.
Is it really the finest candy in the world?
It is indeed, my boy, and that only adds to the tragedy.
Tragedy?
Yes, tragedy. Why, my blood boils with rage when I think of scoundrel Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka's a scoundrel.
Oh yes, the worst kind of scoundrel. Who else would keep the recipe for the everlasting gobstopper locked away in his factory and never share with the outside world? I ask you, does that sound fair?
No, sir, it doesn't.
Of course not! But that Wonka fellow has closed his factory tight. Nobody ever goes in and nobody ever comes out. Who knows what secrets he's keeping in there? All to himself.
I never thought of it that way.
I can see that you and I think alike. Now the real question is, how are you going to get into that factory to get your hands on that recipe?
Me?
Well, look at it this way. The person who procures that ferocious recipe will be rich beyond the dreams of avarice. You know who I'm talking about?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
What a sense of humor this boy has. I'm talking about you, son.
Sir, are you suggesting that I steal from Willy Wonka?
Steal? Heavens no! Cheers, love. Well, I can tell at once that you're an honest young man who cares no more about money than I do. No, I was thinking about your grandmother, that poor woman. She's so poor that she can't afford to buy anything more for dinner than a hearty bowl of broth, with maybe a thin slice of stale bread on the side. Split between the two of you, of course. Think of her for a moment, and while you're at it, think of what it means to your grandmother, the first time in her life, to live like a coolie. Now I ask you, is one little recipe worth all this mental anguish? Will you think it over and remember, everlasting gobstopper. That's the ticket, my boy.
Charlie, where are you? Oh, there you are. You're late. I was getting worried.
I'm sorry I'm late, Grandma. I was passing by Willy Wonka's factory on my way home, and there was this strange man there. He pointed to the factory and said, nobody ever goes in, and nobody ever comes out.
And right he was, Charlie. Not since the tragic day that Willy Wonka locked it.
Why did he lock it?
Because all the other chocolate makers in the world were sending in spies, dressed as workers, to steal Mr. Wonka's secret recipes. Finally, Mr. Wonka shouted, I shall be ruined. Close the factory. And that's just what he did. He locked the gates and vanished completely. And then suddenly, about 3 years later, the most amazing thing happened. The factory started working again, full blast. And more delicious candies were coming out than ever before. But the gates stayed locked so no one can steal them.
But Grandma, someone must be helping Mr. Wonka work the factory.
Thousands must be helping him.
But who? Who are they?
That's the biggest mystery of them all. Well, let's not dwell on it. Here, have some soup while I turn on the TV.
Details of the sudden announcement has captured the attention of the entire world. Hidden among